Hello friends, in the present video, we will discuss about the stability of finite slopes for a purely cohesive soil. Stability of finite slopes for purely cohesive soils. So until the last video, we have discussed about the infinite slopes. From this video onwards, we will discuss about the finite slopes. So before moving on to further, what is meant by purely cohesive soils? That means the soils which are having angle of friction is equal to 0. That means soil can be balanced by using cohesive parameter only. What about the shear strength of the soils in general? That will be counted as C plus sigma and tan phi, isn't it? If you understand this equation, if you increasing the depth, your normal stress will increase. Similarly, your shear strength capacity will also increase. But if you're talking about purely cohesive soils, what is the angle of friction here? 0. That implies what is the shear strength? That will be called it as a only cohesive nature. That means if it is a purely cohesive soil, irrespective of the depth where you are considering the failure plane, our shear strength capacity will be constant. Okay, as it is for purely cohesive soils, we will also call it as a phi is equal to 0 analysis, isn't it? That's what we call the purely cohesive soil. Why? Phi equal to 0. So either you can call it as a purely cohesive soil, or else you can call it as a phi equal to 0 analysis. So before starting to the analysis, let us understand some points here. So normally the analysis is applied to the newly built embankments immediately after its construction. Immediately after its construction. So even though it is applicable for the only purely cohesive soils, so it is generally used for the just newly built embankment. That means just immediately after its construction. So if you are applying this analysis for newly built embankments, then here you have to consider the total stress parameters, or else you can consider it as a undrained condition. If it is undrained means obviously you have to go for the total stress components. So here we have to undrained conditions only. So whatever may be the state of the finite slope, only you have to use undrained conditions only. Why? Because as it is applicable for the newly built embankments, the water will not go away from the soil immediately. So that's why we have to apply only for the undrained conditions. Okay. Now let us consider a finite slope. That means an embankment, a finite embankment. Okay. And let us assume that what is the slip surface for the finite slopes, as we have already discussed, that will be semi form of rotation. Because of the rotation, the soil failure will occur. So let us say the failure plane is somewhat like this. Let us assume them. Initially, we don't know what is the exact failure plane, but here we are assuming that this is what the failure plane. Okay, that means the soil will fail by rotating with respect to some point. Let us say this is the point of rotation. That means with respect to this point, the soil will rotate. Okay, isn't it? So if we are talking about the rotation, isn't it? If your rotation is resisted, then failure of the slope will not occur. So that's why here we will find the stability by considering the moment capacity. That means the factor of safety here can be written as the m subscript r to the m divided by d. Why? Because here m subscript r representing the resisting moment, d represents the driving moment. That means first we will find out the force that causing the rotation. After that, because of the driving force, we'll find, sorry, here it is nothing but a driving moment, right? Because of the driving force, we will find out the moment with respect to the point of rotation. And also with respect to the same point, first we will find out the resisting force. After that, we will multiply the distance to the point of rotation. Then we will get the moment of resisting moment. So if this is greater than 1, that means if factor of safety is greater than 1, then we can say it is a stable slope. Just like we have discussed in the infinite slopes also. That means the resisting moment should be greater than the driving moment. So as long as you have more resistance, then the soil will be stable. Okay, next. Let us say this is the soil that is going to fail. This part of the soil is going to be failed. And let us assume that this is some point of rotation. Okay, next. It is observed that if it is purely cohesive soil, that means if an embankment is made of purely cohesive soil, the failure pattern will be in the form of circular arc. Okay, if it is a purely cohesive soil, it is found out that whatever the failure plane that is occurring, that is forming the circular arc. That means what is mean by it? Whatever the point you consider on the failure plane, every point will make a equal radius with respect to the point of rotation. Let us assume that the radius of the rotation will be is equal to r. Okay, now let us say the point of rotation is equal to 0. As this entire mass is rotating with respect to the point, what are the forces that will act on this soil? So is there any external forces? I think no. Isn't it? Any external forces acting on this embankment if you see here? No. So what are the other forces? The self weight of this failure mass will be there. So that I will represent, let me represent with some different color. So whatever the mass that is failure, that is going to be failed, let us say the mass, because of the mass, the self weight of the failure slope will be equal to W. Okay, let us assume that this weight of the failure mass, it is, as we have to find out the moment. So because of this self weight, this mass is going to be failed. So this is what the driving force. So here if you want to find the factor of safety, we have to find the moment with respect to what point of rotation. So this failure mass is forming a distance x bar with respect to the point of rotation. So from this, what is the driving moment we can observe? The driving moment will be nothing but we can retain as a W into x bar. So this is in which direction? Clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction? If you see this forming a clockwise direction. So here I'll say it as a clockwise, just I will represent the direction. Suppose if you're driving moment in clockwise direction, what should be the direction of the resisting moment? That should be in anti-clockwise direction. So the resisting moment will be developed because of the resisting force. So what is the direction of the resisting force to resist that? Now this will be the direction of the resistance, right? Okay, so this forces is forming a anti-clockwise moment with respect to the point of rotation. Now the next point is resistance is coming from which parameter? That is depending upon the shear strength. If it is a purely corrosive soil, the shear strength is depending upon the which parameter? Is only depending upon the parameter C. So what is the unit of C? Unit of C either we will represent in the form of kilonewton per meter square or else will represent in the form of MPa. That means if you want the force, we have to multiply this parameter by the area. For the analysis purpose, we will consider the unit length. So that means we have to find out what is this length of the arc. Let us say if this is point A, if this is point B. What is the length of arc B, arc AB? Let us say the subtended angle from here to here it is theta. If this radius is r, whatever the subtended angle that can be written as a subtended, whatever the distance of arc AB, that will be written as a r into theta. So this is what the length of the arc AB. Now, what is the resisting moment here? If the length of the arc is r into theta, what is the resisting moment? First we'll find out the resisting force. After that we'll find out the resisting moment. What is the resisting force? That is, what is the shear strength capacity? C. Always we will use the undrained condition. That's why here I am denoting with Cu. Cu into whatever the area. Area is nothing but what is the length of the arc? That is nothing but r into theta. Into we are considering for the unit length of the soil. That's why 1. So whatever the resisting force, that will be nothing but Cu into r into theta. But what we have to find? So whatever this force, this is completely nothing but Cu into r into theta. So with this force is forming a moment of how much at this point of rotation. So everywhere, whatever the point you consider, that makes an equal distance to the point of rotation. Why? Because this is in form of circular arc. That's why Cu into r into theta is the force. What is the perpendicular distance? We'll say it as a r. So what about the resisting moment? So from this resisting moment can be written as, that will be equal to m subscript r, that will be equal to Ca into r into theta is the resisting force multiplied by the radius. So the resisting moment, that will be equal to Cu into r square into theta. Okay. Now make sure that here in this equation theta should be in the radians. All right. Now, what is the factor of safety? So, if you recall the factor of safety, that will be equal to resisting moment divided by driving moment. So, what is the resisting moment? Just now we have got it. Undrained condition, cohesion and undrained condition into r square into angle between the failure plane divided by what is the driving moment? Self weight of the failure mass into distance from self weight to the point of rotation. So by using this formula, we will find out the factor of safety for a finite slope for purely cohesive soil. So while deriving this equation, we have assumed two things. First thing is that the failure plane is forming the circular arc. That is the first condition. And second condition is that we have to apply this equation is only for the undrained condition. So by using this equation, we can find out the stability for the purely cohesive soils for infinite slope. Thank you.